4 years ago, Elise Post crashed in the semifinals in London. Now 4 years later, the St. Cloud, Minnesota native is a silver medalist. Well, Andrew, how does the team feel after the dance ends? It's like hearing the song Closing Time. This hand can't really feel much as it's cold.
This is Countdown to Kickoff here on My Valley as we get you set for this afternoon's matchup between top-ranked James Madison and in-state rival William and Mary.
Well, as the Olympics come to a close, in a few weeks, the Paralympics will take center stage. Well, after going one and done in the playoffs the last 2 years, JMU rapidly rises to the throne of the FCS kingdom.
How has fatherhood changed the way you coach and lead a football team?
Oh boy, that's a great question.
JMU starting out its home schedule with a bang, putting up 21 points in the opening quarter. Brian Shore going on to pass for over 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. Well, guess who just arrived to Durham, North Carolina?
It's the first Friday of October, which means the hunt for playoff spots in November already underway. That sets up Brennan Brown. What can Brown do for you folks? Tacking on another touchdown around the left edge.
Enter that announcement of Nats Park being the 2018 All-Star Game host, making this opening day extra special. Don't think the Who's expected to celebrate a baseball national championship at the home of Virginia basketball, but hey, this entire year has been full of defying expectation. And we're on the quad because this is where 2 years ago over 12,000 fans came to take in the excitement that is College Game Day on ESPN, and the network wants to replicate that atmosphere again. But this is a tough turnaround for both teams as they're just coming off 3 full days of rest. Spotswood hasn't won a state title since 1993, so that means for many of the players taking the floor tonight, well, they weren't alive to see that last state championship. Matt Brady gone from the JMU men's basketball program. I'm David DeGuzman live at the Convo. Coming up, the reason behind it from the school's athletic director. To my left, you see this rope here. Well, it turns out that this weekend, one lane of High Street will be closed to accommodate a buffer between the fans that will be watching the game from the hill and the street traffic, as JMU anticipates nearly 1,000 fans to pack this section of Veterans Memorial Park. As the Olympics continue, a volleyball player out of Eastern Mennonite University has already represented Team USA this summer. But Hunter Taylor's journey to the world stage was complicated, and as it turned out, volleyball became the guiding light in his hunt to find a purpose.
My mom said I had very little hearing when I was born, but all the way up until age 2, it stopped progressively worse, and I just lost my hearing at that point. Yeah, I didn't implant it when I was 2.5.
Hunter was the first 2-year-old in the world to have an implant for hearing loss under his skin. But that didn't end the challenges he faced. In fact, they were just beginning.
I was going to public school in Richmond, Henrico County. At first, they thought I was going to have some differences between me and the teachers. I felt like teachers, coaches from past years in high school, middle school, elementary school, they've always been like, hey, I don't want to work with this kid. He's too much trouble.
Sports became an escape for Hunter, focusing on volleyball after getting cut from the varsity basketball team when he was 16. But as his talent grew, so did the burden Hunter put on himself.
I've been playing year-round for the last 4 years before my freshman year, and I think like the intensity, the everyday life just kind of like drowned me in some ways, and I think I just needed some time off.
Hunter played just 12 sets of volleyball in his first year at EMU before deciding he needed a break.
Did you put a lot of expectations on yourself going into your freshman year, and did that have anything to do with you deciding to step away?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah. I guess the expectations became disappointment.
Hunter transferred to Radford, but his grades continued to slip. It took the loss of a loved one for him to find his way back to EMU.
My grandfather, he passed away December 6th. I knew if I played volleyball, it would like make me concentrate in school. School was the biggest thing. I need to graduate. That's the biggest thing my grandfather wanted.
In his comeback season with the Royals, Hunter played in 9 games, all while preparing for an even bigger stage, the World Deaf Volleyball Championships in Washington, D.C.
Just representing USA, no matter if it's the actual Olympics, the Deaf Olympics, or the Paralympics, it's just an honor to wear the red, white, and blue.
For 2.5 weeks, he competed against the best deaf volleyball players on the planet. The United States finished 5th.
Honestly, I'm just happy the team came really well together. It's been an unbelievable experience, honestly. I met so many deaf people around my community, learned a lot of sign language that I didn't know before. I'm not good at signing yet, but I hope to take a class very soon.
In representing the United States, Hunter found a new purpose, being a role model.
I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, can you talk with my son? Can you talk with my family? It's just weird. I've never really been a role model. I've always looked up to other people like LeBron James, and I guess these deaf kids are looking up to me like I'm their LeBron James. I guess one thing I do want to say to them is don't give up. I've always thought about giving up, but just don't give up.
High drama at Harrisonburg High School tonight. Conference championships on the line for both boys soccer and baseball teams. 2 games that started at the same time, happening right next to each other, and each with a thrilling ending. Keep in mind, just one camera to capture all the action. We'll start on the pitch. Harrisonburg facing John Hanley. The Judges won 2-0 back in early April. About 15 minutes in, Owen Mattins taking this long ball and with streaks swarming, unleashes a shot that finds the back of the net. Hanley taking a 1-0 lead. We'll get back to that game in a second. But down the hill on the diamond, Millbrook and Harrisonburg meeting for a baseball conference title. 4th inning on this one. Streaks down 1-0. Malachi Simmons launching one over right field, and that is gone. Solo homer. We are tied at 1, but we are just getting started on the fun. Back at boys soccer, Hanley and the Streaks are tied at 1 here. Roberto Gonzalez with the shot. Then on the rebound, Sajjad Imran goes high with the kick, and you can tell the Streaks are pretty frustrated. The Berg, though, gets another chance 2 minutes later. Gonzalez kicking back to Eric Ramirez. He goes for the long-range strike. It goes in for the go-ahead goal. Ramirez celebrating in the stands. Streaks leading 2-1. We have to go back to baseball. Millbrook took a 2-1 lead. Christian Whitelow finding grass in right center field. Marcus Robinson Jenkins coming home. We are tied at 2 in the 5th. Same frame, runners in scoring position. Jose Rocha gets the gap in left, trotting home Kevin Navedo. And with a bigger sense of urgency, Christian Whitelow, he's safe. The Streaks taking a 4-2 lead. Let's go back next door at soccer. Hanley tied the game at 2, and after 4 overtime periods of scoreless soccer, we needed those dreaded penalty kicks. 3rd round here, Hanley trying to keep pace. Toby Campbell coming up with the stop. The senior taking a big sigh of relief. It is up to Roberto Gonzalez to clinch the title. He hits the back of the net, and Blue Streaks boys soccer winning 4-2 on penalties to capture the C21 West crown. So, how about baseball? Millbrook tied the game in the 7th. Harrisonburg has the bases loaded in the 9th. Jose Rocha at the plate, bounces one up. Here comes the cutoff throw at home. It gets away. Navedo coming home, and the Streaks win this one, defeating Millbrook 5-4. There you have it. 2 crazy games, 2 dramatic finishes, just minutes apart. A very memorable night for Harrisonburg High School sports.